She had never trained him for this. He did it anyway. Taraji Mensa Kowalczyk had a golden retriever named Beaumont and a husband with type 1 diabetes named Calloway. Beaumont was 3 years old. He had never been to a medical alert dog training program. He had learned one thing from living with Calloway for 2 years. When Calloway smelled wrong, on a Sunday morning in March, Calloway was heading to his car to drive to a breakfast meeting. He had taken his morning insulin. He had forgotten to eat. He was running late, and he had told himself he would eat at the meeting. Belmont was at the front door. When Calloway reached for the door handle, Belmont stood between him and the door. Calloway said his name. Belmont sat down in front of the door. Calloway tried to move around him. Belmont moved with him. Taraji came downstairs. She watched this for 45 seconds. She watched Calloway's face. She had been married to a type 1 diabetic for 6 years. She knew the face he made when his glucose was dropping. He was not making that face. He looked normal. He also looked slightly pale, and he was arguing with the dog without looking at her. Both of those things. Cal, check your glucose. I'm fine. I'm late. Check your glucose. The number was 41 mg/dl. He sat down on the front steps. He drank the orange juice she brought. He ate the crackers. He called the meeting and said he would be 30 minutes late. He sat on the steps and looked at the dog. If you stay for stories about what animals notice before we do, you're in the right place. Subscribe so you don't miss the next one. His endocrinologist, Dr. Priscilla Achebe, reviewed the CGM trace at his next appointment. The glucose had been dropping since 7:14 a.m., 40 minutes before Beaumont blocked the door. The rate of descent at the moment of blocking was confirmed at approximately 3 mg/dl per minute. He was blocking you before your CGM alarm threshold. His nose detected the ketone and aldehyde compounds your body produces at the early stage of a hypoglycemic event. He knew before you did, before the machine did, and before you showed any visible symptoms. She paused. At the rate your glucose was dropping, you would have been behind the wheel of a car for 10 minutes before you became impaired. 41 at departure plus driving equals a scenario I do not want to model for you. Has your animal ever done something you couldn't explain until it was the only thing that made sense? Tell us in the comments. These stories deserve to be heard. Calloway has a CGM alarm now set to alert at 70. He does not leave the house on insulin without eating. He also does not argue with Beaumont at the front door. Every guardian deserves to be recognized, even the ones who were never trained for it and learned on their own anyway. If stories like this matter to you, subscribe so you never miss the next one. Belmont gets a treat every morning when Calloway leaves for work without incident. He takes the treat with the composed satisfaction of a dog who has made his peace with the arrangement. He watches from the window until the car turns the corner. Tomorrow, there's another one about a rescue mutt who detected low oxygen in a sleeping toddler before any alarm triggered.